rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Wilson, roll call, please.
Ms. Frederickson. Mr. St.
Here.
Mr. Wade.
Here.
Mr. Rose. Here. Ms. Smith.
Here. Adoption of the agenda. Any additions for you, Ms. Bond? I do have one addition. Is there any objection to amend tonight's agenda to consider an additional closed session to consider the disciplining of a staff member who has requested closed hearing? Okay, thank you. Deletion? Communications.
District Bylaw 0142.5 entitles vacancies states in part the office of a board member shall become vacant immediately upon the occurrence of any of the following events: the incumbent's resignation, the incumbent's residence being removed from the school district. Bylaw 0142.5 states further that if less than a majority of the offices of the district become vacant, the remaining members of the board shall fill the vacancy immediately. Therefore, the remaining members of the board have 30 days to fill the vacancy. Mr. Battani resigned August 12th with an effective date of August 12th, 2024. Based on the June interviews for a previously vacant seat on the Board of Education has decided to appoint Russell Burrow as the interim trustee. The term will expire December 31st, 2024.
Ms. Smith.
Mr. Walton.
I move the Board of Education appoint Russell Burrow to the Board of Education to serve until December 31, 2024, based on the points awarded during the interview process.
Support. Motion and support. Any discussion? Mr. Walton, would you do roll call vote, please?
Here, Mr. St.
Aye.
Mr. Wade.
Aye.
Mr. Walton, aye. Mr. Rose. Aye. Ms. Frederickson.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye. Motion passes. We would like to invite Mr. Burrow and his family up to the stage.
Right in the middle.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, you guys are going to help your dad. He's got to remember all these words, okay? All right. Repeat after me, Mr. Burrow. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I do solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of office of member of the Board of Education of Almont Community Schools according to the best of my ability.
and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of office of member of the Board of Education of Almont Community Schools according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
You guys want to give the dad a hug? Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
And Mr. Burrow, you can join us at your seat.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Thanks, you guys, for being here. Right? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Questions and comments from the audience at this time. There will be another opportunity for questions and comments. Just as a reminder, this is not two-way communications. If there's anything that needs to be followed up on, our superintendent will respond and get back to you on that. And you have 3 minutes. Please come to the microphone at the podium, state your first and last name, and then your time will begin. Would anybody like to be recognized? Yes.
Good evening. My name is Janae Bordeaux. I'm a parent, and I had a situation come up recently with my daughter, Noelle. She's a junior at the high school that I felt the board should be aware of to consider how to move forward. So she's a band student, and over the summer, I got a text from the band director, and she did too. And it kind of caught me off guard because I had never, I didn't give her cell phone out. So I called Mr. Wetzel and I asked him about it, and he said that they had started a new program called Cut Time, which is, some app, which is fine. But its choice is to use cell phones. And I said, well, my daughter's a minor. You can't use her cell phone without permission or without, my protection or my knowledge. And he said, well, it's just an app, like it's not personally from me, but he puts in information and then it gets sent to the students. So I said, well, I'm going to call Ms. Von Hiltmar about it, so I want you to know that. So you should probably call her too, because I think that a step's been skipped here. So I did that, and Mr. Wetzel also spoke to her, and they came up with a permission slip, which was very good, that went out to families afterwards, though. He had already put everybody in. And when the thing is, he must have gotten her phone number from an emergency card or something along those lines, because there was never we're signing you into Cut Time, can I have your information? So there's an option now because I said, I don't understand why you're not using the school-generated Gmail. Like, that's how you're supposed to communicate with my student, not their cell phone. And, we've had many discussions in board meetings and in work sessions about the pitfalls of cell phone use. And, so here we are again. So she's supposed to get all of her reminders on her phone now from band. So that's what I came today to talk about. And then today, as I was signing all my get into school papers, I got another one from Mr. Voigt. And he has a remind, and the kids put it on their phone, and then they get, reminders about things. And then I read Miss Kendall's phone policy here. Chromebooks are for any digital activities we have planned for the day. Please do not text or call your child while they are in class. So I feel like our policy, Kim gave me the policy, and I read all the policy, and I read the policies it referred to. Nothing actually said student cell phone. It just says, emerging technology is kind of how they put it. But
Ms. Bordeaux, I will ask if anybody else would like to speak.
How it works.
Sorry.
that's okay.
Do we have to sit down? Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. And if you do want longer time, you can always request to be on the agenda in the future too.
Well, did you hear enough? Was the question.
I did.
Okay.
Thank you. Does anybody else like to be recognized at this time? Okay, thank you. Now we will do consent agenda. I was one early.
Ms. Smith,
Mr. Walton,
I move the Board of Education approve the consent agenda. A, approval of the minutes from the regular meeting, July 29, 2024. B, approval of the minutes from the special meeting, August 6, 2024. C, approval of the minutes from the special meeting, August 12, 2024. D, approval of the minutes from the work session, August 20th, 2024. E, approval of the minutes from the closed session, August 20th, 2024. Support.
motion and support. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Mrs. Smith.
Go ahead.
I move the Board of Education approve the bills payable and the financial reports as proposed by administration and reviewed by the Finance Committee as follows. June 15th, 2024 to July 11th, 2024. General fund total, $249,014.18. School lunch fund, $11,859.17. Student activity fund, $30,764.61. 2014 sinking fund, $62,872.60. 2013 refunding bonds, 0. 2016 refunding bonds, 0. 2021 Series A refunding bonds, 0. 2021 Series B refunding bonds, 0. Subtotal, $354,510.56. ACH wire transactions, payroll, July 15th through August 15th, $1,194,866.52. EduStat, $0.00. Health Equity HSA, $32,090.26. Credit card BMO, $10,773.09. Health insurance, $103,494.42. 2013 refunding bonds, 0. 2016 refunding bonds, 0. 2021 Series A refunding bonds, 0. 2021 Series B refunding bonds, 0. State aid note payments, $300,000.00. QZAB Energy, 0. Arbiter pay, 0. Pro care fees, 0. Meal Magic fees, 0. Total funds spent, $1,995,734.85. Check numbers and voided checks as listed below.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Please take a minute to acknowledge that Orchard Primary, Middle School, High School, and athletic student activity accounts. And new business, reading it on. How about you guys?
Couple things, just briefly, again, it was a great first half day back at school. Lots of pictures being shared out there. So if you happened to be on our district Facebook page, I believe it was like 69, 70 posts as we were walking in today for back to school pictures. But overall, really great day. A little bit warm, and I think it's going to be the story of the week. So I do expect a lot of water bottles to be seen across campus here this week, so stay hydrated for sure. Also, just reminders, I did put out a welcome back letter, parents and board members, just so that you could see the upcoming events for the start of the school year. I do know that we have at the middle school, we do have curriculum nights approaching, being tomorrow, our 4th and 5th grade students, 6 to 8 p.m. And then for 6th and 7th grade students, that's on August 28th. Really parent driven there for the curriculum night. Just a little shout out there. And then for high school, we have an 8th grade information night on August 27th. Then that's tomorrow from 6 to 7 p.m. So 8th grade parents, if you could make that, that'll be different than the orientation night. This kind of outlines some of the activities that the 8th grade and 8th graders will have planned for this school year. So that is from 6 to 7 tomorrow night. Also just wanted, again, another shout out. Did this earlier at our welcome back breakfast, but just wanted to make everyone aware that we have 16 new staff members joining us this school year. So lots of new faces in all of the buildings, and just welcome to Almont Community Schools. We're very, very excited to work with you. The other thing is just making sure that you're seeing communication go out, whether it's Facebook or, again, district newsletters regarding our Sinking Fund Community Forum meeting schedule. I will say the first date, the shout out is for September 5th. So that's a week from Thursday at 6 o'clock right here in the auditorium. And really the purpose of these meetings, transparency for our sinking fund expenditures. We're going to try to date back since 2014 as much as we can to gather those facts for you, and then provide the current status, the status of the sinking fund, and prioritize projects. So that's really the main focus there for our Sinking Fund Community Forum. And I look forward to seeing anybody, everyone who would like to attend. That's open to staff, community members. Please come out if you're available. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bonhoeffer. Finance, right?
Adult lunch and breakfast pricing. The Board of Education annually reviews program fees and establishes rates to be charged. All students will be provided free breakfast and lunch for the 24-25 school year. Per state legislation, we are approving adult pricing. The District Food Management Company, Chartwells, has recommended the following prices. See the attached form. We have adults, we have breakfast at $3.05 and lunch at $5.15.
Mrs. Smith.
Mr. Ray.
I move the Board of Education establish adult lunch and breakfast rates for the 2024-2025 school year as follows. Breakfast, $3.05. Lunch, $5.15.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Personnel.
Resignations. The Board of Education may agree to a resignation or retirement at any time after replacement, if necessary, suitable to the school administration, and the board is obtained, provided that the circumstances underlying the resignation or retirement are valid in the opinion of the board and warrant a search for replacement. Kelsey Lowell has resigned from her role as a paraprofessional at Orchard Primary to pursue a new opportunity. Kennedy Kaufman is resigning from her position as an art teacher at Almont Middle School and Almont High School. Her resignation will be effective January 1st, 2025. Ms. Kaufman will be taking a position in another district.
Let's see.
Mrs. Smith,
All right.
I move that the Board of Education accept the resignations of Kennedy Kaufman and Kelsey Lowe and wish them well.
Motion and support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
On to new hires. The Board of Education approves all personnel. With the resignation of Amanda Nichols, we have the position of behavioral specialist open at Orchard Primary. Mr. Bruno is pleased and excited to recommend Ms. Rebecca Schlund as the behavioral specialist at Orchard Primary. Ms. Schlund comes to us with a wealth of experience and will make a great addition to Orchard Primary. Mr. Spear is pleased to recommend Mrs. Andrea Bristol to Almont High School as a resource room teacher. Mrs. Bristol comes to the Almont High School with years of experience as an educator and is an Almont graduate. Ms. Lewis is pleased to recommend Ms. Andrea Ropes as the new, that is not the correct one. I'm sorry, I just realized that. So is that the only addition? I'm sorry, I have to retract that. Thank you. Okay. I don't know how that's, okay, thank you. Let me go back to Ms. Lewis is, Ms. Lewis and Mr. Bruno are happy to welcome Mrs. Nicole Endry to the district as a recess lunch aide for both Almont Middle School and Orchard Primary. Mrs. Endry is a parent of 3 Almont Community School students and has also worked as a substitute for various roles at Orchard Primary.
Correct.
Not Mrs. Lewis.
Ms. Smith,
Mr. St.
I move that the Board of Education approve Ms. Schlund, Mrs. Bristol, and Mrs. Andary and welcome them to the district.
Motion and support. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
We have Mrs. Bristol here. Mrs. Bristol, you want to come up to the stage, introduce yourself, and we will release you unless you'd like to stay for the entire meeting. But thank you for coming. So come on up and introduce yourself. And this is Mrs. Bristol.
Time no see.
I know, yes. Well done. Thanks for being here.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Like the colors. Looks good on you. We're on to approval of contracts. The Board of Education approves the employment contracts of all personnel. After meeting with the support staff, we have a proposed agreement The AESPA met on August 21st to vote on the proposed changes and accepted the contract through a vote of its members.
Ms. Smith?
Mr. St. Ange.
I move that the Board of Education approve the AESPA contract, which runs August 2024 to August 2026. Contract,
Real quick before I support, you can handle the contract negotiation. Legal's already signed.
Correct. Yes, legal reviewed it. Yes.
Motion and support. Any discussion? Mr. Walton.
I believe with the recent addition, I may have to abstain from this.
Okay, thank you.
That's my
That would make sense,
comment is currently
Yes.
employed.
which is great. Any other discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Walton abstained.
On to policy. The board adopts bylaws and policies for organization and operation of the board and district. Bylaws and policies may be adopted, amended, and repealed at any meeting of the board, provided the proposed adoption, amendment, or repeal should have been proposed at a previous board meeting and once proposed, shall have remained on the agenda of each succeeding board meeting until approved or rejected. Bylaw 0131.1. The district's policy service, Neola, has provided the following updated policy. This is the first read. This is the policy to be followed if an incident is alleged to have occurred on or before July 31st, 2024. Policy 2266 would be effective for dates August 1st, 2024 and after.
Ms. Smith?
Mr. Walton.
I move the Board of Education adopt policy 2266, non-discrimination on the basis of sex and education programs or activities.
Motion and support. Any discussion?
Who was it? She didn't hear. Support.
Sorry, what?
Support.
Jamie?
Supported.
Oh, Jane.
Jane.
Sorry.
Ms. Smith?
Yes, Mr. Walton.
On discussion, so this is technically the second read because we did do first read.
That was what I was going to ask
Just to
you.
clarify, yeah.
Yes, I should say.
Yeah, second read. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. This will be our second time for audience comments. Again, just as a reminder, you have a 3-minute timer. Please come up to the microphone, state your first and last name. And this is not two-way communication. If there's anything that needs to be followed up with, you will be contacted with further information. Would anybody like to be recognized? Nope. Okay. Questions, comments from the Board of Education?
Ms. Smith?
Mr. St. Ange?
I'm happy that the school year kicked off. I heard a really nice compliment from the OP teachers today that Mr. Bruno had gone around apparently to each classroom because each teacher found a personal Post-it note on their door in their classroom, thanking them and with something unique that each of them had done or brought to the table. So that was nice of him.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing.
That's wonderful. Any other questions, comments, anything from the board? I would like to say that I heard it was a good day too, and thank you to all of our staff and support staff and our office staff and administration to starting off the year and looking forward to a good 24-25. Any future agenda items?
Ms. Smith?
Mr. St. Ange?
In light of something that was brought up tonight at the meeting, I think it would be worth our while to review what our policy would be regarding electronic communications to students. It's a good point that, just like we had last week, there was an issue with emails had gone out to students even though it was summer break and students weren't expected to really get those emails before school started. Well, now we have students getting contact on their cell phones. So we did take a look and see, what the policy says, or if we need to adjust it and get permissions and make it district-wide so everyone knows.
Thank you.
Any other future agenda items?
Ms. Smith?
Mr. Walton?
I move the Board of Education convene a closed meeting under MCL 15.268, paragraph H, to review and discuss a written opinion from legal counsel that is protected from public disclosure under the attorney-client privilege, and under MCL 15.268, paragraph A, to consider the disciplining of a staff member who has requested a closed hearing.
Support.
Motion and support. Mr. Walton, we do a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Frederickson.
Aye.
Mr. St. Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Rozay. Mr. Wade.
Aye.
Mr. Burrow.
Aye.
Mr. Walton, aye. Ms. Smith.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you guys for coming.